morning, students. I hope everybody is watching the videos. You see all the videos because there was connection between video to video. Then you can follow it. And in last class, I explained you about the potential due to a system of charges. And every time I wrote the formulas what we discussed in last classes. One time we recall that the potential, electrostatic potential is that the amount of work done to bring the charge from infinity to the given point against the electrostatic field is the electrostatic potential, and it is the scalar quantity. The mathematical formula also we know that, dimensional formula we know that, and the potential due to a point charge. So here the derivation, we derive the potential due to a point charge, and in that derivation, what is the importance of the derivation? That is the main thing from the derivations, because while doing the derivation, we know the step by step. So by knowing the steps, we can derive that. But the main thing, what is the importance of the derivation, where we use that, and how we apply that formulas for the applications. That is the very important thing. So in that formula, we know that V equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. That 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is the constant, proportionality constant, and R is the distance from the source of the electric field to the given point where we are going to find the potential. That is the distance, and Q is the charge, that is the source of charge for the electric field. So the relation is the potential and the distance are inversely proportional. It means that if the distance increasing, then the potential will be decreases. If distance is decreasing, then potential will be increases, inversely proportional. That we know, potential due to a point charge V is inversely proportional to the distance. So these relations we use in applications and in case of numericals also. V is inversely proportional to the distance. This is electric potential due to a point charge. And potential due to a dipole. So in that potential due to a dipole, we know that V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta by R square, and here the condition is that R is far greater than A. So here A is the distance from the point O to the charge. So when R is far greater than A, then potential due to a dipole is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught B cos theta by R square. And the vector form of the potential due to a dipole is V equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P dot R bar divided by R cube. This is the vector form of the potential due to a dipole. So here P dot R bar, we write that P cos theta into R by R cube. Then after cancellation, we get the same formula, potential due to a dipole. So from this relation, what is the relation potential due to a dipole and the distance? That is also inversely proportional, but V is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Potential due to a point charge is V is inversely proportional to the R. Potential is inversely proportional to the distance. potential due to a dipole is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Okay, that is the relation. And the potential due to a system of charges, number of charges, that is V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma I equals to 1 to n qi divided by ri. So where I is, here I equals to 1 to n, means when we take the value of I is 1, then here that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 by r2, and sigma represents that summation plus. So plus, if I equals to 2, then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q2 by r2. So this is the general form of the potential due to a system of charges. So here we use the superposition principle. That superposition principle states that electric potential or the resulting potential at a point due to the charges, system of charges, is equal to the algebraic sum of the potential due to individual charges. It means here the potential is the scalar, so that we use algebraic sum, because it is not a vector, we are not doing the vector addition. Okay, so that we have discussed in last class. And one more also, we can modify the formula if the potential is in dielectric medium. Here the potential V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. This is the potential due to a point charge when it is placed in air medium or free space, because here the epsilon naught represents the permittivity in free space. Suppose the potential, we want to find the potential in a dielectric medium, then we know that the permittivity, relative permittivity, is epsilon r is the ratio of permittivity in a medium to the free space. Okay, then the epsilon is equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r. So if you want to find the potential in a dielectric medium, then potential V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by R, or V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into epsilon r Q by R. This is the potential, to find the potential in a dielectric medium. Okay, so that here we use the epsilon naught and epsilon r, and this is the permittivity in free space, and this is the relative permittivity. Okay, and we know the potential for the spherical shell. Potential for the spherical shell, and the point is outside of the spherical shell, that V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R, and here the condition is that R is greater than R. Here that R is the radius of the spherical shell, and R is the distance from center of the spherical shell to the point. So then potential is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R, and the potential of the spherical shell inside the spherical shell. Then what is the potential for the inside the spherical shell? We know that electric field inside the spherical shell is 0. But in the case of potential, the potential will be constant. So inside the spherical shell, the potential is constant, which is equals to the potential on the surface of the spherical shell, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Okay, and this is the potential inside the spherical shell. Outside the spherical shell. Inside the spherical shell, electric field is zero. Okay, so this we discussed in last class. And now that the next concept is equipotential surface. Then what is the equipotential surface? So the equipotential surface, if you see the name of that equipotential surface, equi means that equal. What is equal? Potential is equal on the surface. Okay, that we call that equipotential surface. So to understand the equipotential surface, let us see one example, a simple example for the equipotential surface. Suppose the charge Q is placed in an electric field. So here Q is the charge is placed in an electric field. Then what is the potential at point P with the distance r? So here I am taking r is the distance. So r is the distance from this point to the Q. So here we know that potential is Q upon r. Of course, that is V equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, or 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q upon r. So this is the potential at this point. Suppose if you take the potential at this point with the distance is r, then what will be the potential? Will be the same. That is V equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r. And if you take the potential at this point, again the potential V equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r. And suppose at this distance, so here the distance is same, and at this point again the potential is V equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r. And if you take the potential at the distance r, that is perpendicular to this board, again the potential will be the same, that is V equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r. And if you join all these points, and it forms a sphere. Okay, so on that sphere, the surface of the sphere acts as the equipotential surface, because the potential is same on the surface. Okay, that type of surface we call that equipotential surface. And one more also we can say that here this Q is the locus of all the points, and if you join all these points and it forms like a sphere. So that sphere is the equipotential surface. Understand that equipotential surface is simple. The potential is same on the surface, which is same the potential on the surface, that we call the equipotential surface. And this equipotential surface, the properties are the characteristics of the equipotential surface. And here we can write that the potential is same potential is same on constant on the surface. Okay, and that surface we call that equipotential surface. And the characteristics are the properties of equipotential surface. Then what are the properties of equipotential surface? Properties are the characteristics of equipotential surface. So to know the properties, to understand the properties of equipotential surface, for example, I am going to take that isolated charge, point charge. Here the charge is plus 1. And for this charge, and this is the surface, equipotential surface, and you may get doubt, for the charge, how many equipotential surface can exist? Either one or two, or only one surface equipotential surface can exist. So to further, we can give the answer for that it exists number of equipotential surface. See, and this is the one of the equipotential surface, because here the from this, here the potential is same, here also potential is same, here the potential is same, here the potential is same. So the potential is same on this surface. And if you take one more, and this is also represent the equipotential surface, and one more equipotential surface, and one more equipotential surface, like this concentric spheres. So if you take that positive point charge, isolated point charge, we have the number of equipotential surfaces. So the potential on the surface is that V1. Potential for the second surface is V2, and the potential V3, and here the potential is V4. So like that, n number of equipotential surfaces. But here we have one relation. So when the distance increases, so here you consider this is R1. And this distance is R2, R3, R4. It means that when the distance increases, what about the potential? The potential increases or decreases? So to know that, we know the relation. V is inversely proportional to the distance. So where the distance is less, then potential is more. So the potential V1 is more than V2, next to V3, like V4. And if you write the relation, that is V1 is greater than V2 is greater than V3 is greater than V4. So when the distance increases, then the potential will be decreases. And for this, we take that the electric field. So if you draw the field lines for the positive charge, we know, we studied in the first chapter about the properties of electric field lines. If it is the positive charge, then the field lines are away from the charge, it is radially outward. So here this is the electric field, this represents electric field, and here this is also represents electric field, here this is the electric field, again this is also electric field, and this radially outwards electric field, and here this is the electric field, here also represents electric field. Then how the electric field and the potentials, so they are always, so this is the very important point, electric field and the potential, the relation between electric field and the potential, here the relation is that they are always perpendicular to each other, electric field and the potential. So here if you see the surface, this surface, and this is the electric field, and this will be the right angle, and again at this surface if you take, this is the right angle, and if you take here, this is the right angle. mean that the electric field and the potential are perpendicular to each other. So we can find the equipotential surface for the charges by knowing the electric field. Okay, and that is for the positive charge. And if it is the negative charge, then what about the field lines? Field lines will be inward, and the potential will be perpendicular. So equipotential surface and the electric field are perpendicular to each other. And by knowing the relation also, by taking the potential and the electric field relation, there also we prove that the value of theta must be 90 degrees. Mean that when they are perpendicular, then we can find the potential and the field, electric field. That is the one of the point. The first point for the properties, electric field and the potential. Here we represent the equipotential. Equipotential are always perpendicular to each other. This is the one of the point. And the second characteristic of the equipotential surface. For example, I have taken the equipotential surface, and we want to bring the charge to here. We want to bring the charge from this point. I consider this is A and this is point B. I want to bring the charge from point A to point B. Then what will be the work done? So to bring the charge from one point to another point, we need the work. But this is the equipotential surface. This surface is the equipotential surface. What we know from the equipotential surface, potential is at point A, how much potential it has. At point B is also potential is. Then initial work done. So we can write that, use the symbol for the energy is U, potential energy. The symbol is U. Then U is equals to the charge Q into V. And at point B, what is the energy? Again, the point B, you take this U1 and U2 is equals to Q into V. Why we have written V? Because the potential, equipotential is same. So then according to the work energy theorem, we know work energy theorem, the work done by all the forces is equals to the change in energy. Here the potential energy, the work done, W, is equals to U2 minus U1 and it is equals to 0. It means that we don't want any work to bring the charge from one point to the another point on the equipotential surface. That is the main important point. There is no work done to bring the charge from one point to the another on the equipotential surface. This is the second property or second characteristic of the equipotential surface. And first one is perpendicular and the second one is there is no work done, and third one is the two equipotential surfaces. Here we have the number of equipotential surfaces. So I am taking that equipotential surface for the charge Q. This is the equipotential surface like this. N number of potential surface. When it is increases, then goes on like a curved shape. At last, if you take the r distance, and it may be like a straight line, and here the lines will be straight. Here the two lines are parallel. Of course, here also when you take the curved surface, then there also they are parallel. Equipotential surfaces are parallel. So when you take r distance and they are parallel, so the two parallel lines cannot intersect. And here also the two equipotential surfaces never intersect each other. Is like a field lines, electric field lines never intersect each other. So the equipotential surfaces also cannot intersect. Okay, that is one of the property of the equipotential surface. Okay, so these are the main properties of equipotential surface. One is that they are perpendicular to each other and that there is no work done, and the potential difference, we know that potential is constant and potential difference is also 0. So here the work done is 0 and the potential difference on the equipotential surface is also 0, and the two equipotential surfaces never intersect each other. These are the three properties of equipotential surface. Let us see example about the equipotential surface. So the example is that the electric field, the field lines are along y-axis, means that here the electric field is uniform and that electric field is along y-axis. Then we want to find that they given the points at point the coordinates are 0, 0 and point B the coordinates are given that 2, 0 and at point C is that 0, 2. Then relation, what is the relation of the potentials at point A, point B and point C when the field is along y-axis? So here we know the coordinates 0, 0, then the origin. Consider that origin, here is origin O, or you take the point A and point A is 0, 0. There is no x-axis and y-axis, that we take as the origin, and point B given that 2, 0, means that here, for example, I am taking at the point B and here the coordinates are 2, 0. And given that point C, here the point C, the coordinates are 0, 2. And we know the condition, the electric field and the potential are perpendicular to each other. But here you see the point C, when you see the point C and it is along the field direction, along the field direction, it means that the potential, equipotential is nearer to the lower potential. Why we have taken the potential is nearer to the, means the point C is nearer to the lower potential. We know the field direction, electric field direction is from positive to the negative. So here the point C is also along this direction. It means the point C is nearer to this negative charge. The potential at point C is lower. So here the potential at point C we have taken VC. At point A the potential is VA, and here at point B the potential is VB. And of course here the potential is same, then AB will be the equipotential surface, and that is perpendicular. So this surface is perpendicular to the electric field. We know the property. The field lines and the potential, equipotential surface are right angle to each other. So then the potential at the point A and the point B is same, then VA is equals to VB, and these two potentials must be greater than VC because this point C is nearer to the lower potential, negative charge, lower potential, so that VA equals to VB greater than VC. Okay, so that is the relation between point A, point B and point C. These are some of the examples, and for competitive or 1 mark they may ask about the relation. Okay, that is about the potentials. Okay, and one more is that here when we are taking this equipotential surfaces V1, V2, V3, V4, and here the electric field is from higher potential to lower potential. To lower potential, positive charge to the negative charge. Then the electric field is moves from V1 to V4. It is always from higher potential to the lower potential. That is also one of the important point. And when you see one more example, and this example from the textbook, NCERT textbook, they have taken two charges. The charge Q1 is 2 microcoulombs and the second charge Q2 is equals to minus 2 microcoulombs, and they are placed at a distance d is equals to r. We use the notation r, that r is given at 6 centimeters. The two charges are separated in the distance 6 centimeters and bear the equipotential surface. We want to find the equipotential surface. Why I have taken the examples? To understand clearly about the equipotential surface, how we can calculate the potential surface, what is the importance of equipotential surface. We may study that equipotential surface means potential is same on that surface, that type of surface is equipotential surface. But where we apply the potential surface, how to calculate the equipotential surface, that is the important thing. Further, we have taken the example is the two charges Q1 is 2 microcoulombs and Q2 is minus 2 microcoulombs, and they are separated by the distance is 6 centimeters. Then where will be the equipotential surface? And to calculate the equipotential surface, here the charge Q1 and the charge Q2, and here the distance r is equals to 6 centimeters. Of course, this is 0.06 meters. And here this will be the 2 microcoulombs, then 2 into 10 power minus 6 coulombs, and this is minus 2 into 10 power minus 6 coulombs. And to find the equipotential, suppose I consider that the potential, equipotential at point O. So from charge Q1 to O, the distance is x. We consider the distance from Q1 to O is x. Then tell me what is the distance from O to Q2. It is not exact midpoint. If you take the midpoint, then it will be 0.03 and this will be 0.03. We don't know that whether exactly is at midpoint of the two charges. That we don't know. So that I am taking the potential. We consider the potential at point O, that is distance from Q1 to O is x. And the distance from O to Q2 is d minus x or 0.06 minus x. This is the distance. Because the total distance is 0.06 meters and we know this is x, and the second part is 0.06 minus x. Then to calculate the equipotential, we know the potential at point Q1. So V1, we take the potential due to Q1 at point O is V1, and potential due to the charge Q2 at point O is V2. We want that net potential. So the net potential V is equals to V1 plus V2. V1 plus V2. And here the net potential will be 0. Where the potential is 0, there the equipotential surface. Because the potential difference is 0. So then 0 is equals to V1 plus V2. Then V1 is equals to minus V2. Means the null point. Here the potential at O we have taken as the equipotential surface, and it is like a null point. Where the null point exists, there the potential surface, equipotential surface. So that here V1 is equals to minus V2. V1 is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by the distance is x is equals to minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught minus Q2. The second charge is negative, so minus Q2 upon the distance from O to Q2 is 0.06 minus x. So minus Q2 upon 0.06 minus x. Of course, here the 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught cancel. Then what is Q1 value? Is 2 into 10 power minus 6 by x is equals to, here minus Q2, and the charge is also minus, then minus and minus will become plus. Then Q2 is also 2 into 10 power minus 6 upon 0.06 minus these two cancel. Then x value, can you find the value of x? X is equals to 0.06 minus x. Then minus if you send the other side, it becomes positive, then it becomes 2x. 2x equals to 0.06. Then x equals to 0.03 meters. It means that where the equipotential surface exists at a distance 0.03 meters. So this value of x is equals to 0.03. Then if you redraw the diagram, here the Q1 and Q2, and from Q1 to Q2 is exactly, we got 0.03, half of the value of, that's 0.06. It means that exact at midpoint. So in this case, we got that equipotential surface is exactly at midpoint, and that represents equipotential surface. So it is from here the distance is 0.03 meters, and this is also 0.03 meters, and here the equipotential surface exists. And here also we have the shortcuts. We have shortcuts to find the potential, and that is the application part, that is the part. So these are the two examples of how to calculate the equipotential surfaces. Equipotential surface, and we know the properties of equipotential surface also. Okay, then we can find that what is the relation between electric field and the potential. Electric field and the potential. So then what will be the electric potential? Relation between electric potential and the field, that we see. So have you understand this now? Have you understood? Have you understood this topic? If you have any doubts, you can raise your doubts about the equipotential surfaces. Okay, and the relation between potential and the field.